Red Sonja and the Pale Witch strike up an uneasy alliance to outsmart a deadly dragon. We're going to talk about it in our review of Savage Red Sonja number 5 from Dynamite Comics. See you in 3. And welcome back to Comical Opinions. This is our review of Savage Red Sonja number 5 from Dynamite Comics. And this issue concludes the miniseries with a carefully executed plan to outsmart a dragon and steal its fire to rejoin the Blood Ruby and the Magic Scepter. But before we get started, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notification, and your attention will be greatly appreciated. Make sure to stay tuned to the end for the score. Let's talk about the credits. Savage Red Sonja number 5 is written by Dan Panosian, art by Alessio Patillo, colors by Francesco Segala with assist by Gloria Martinelli, letters by Dave Sharp, and Dan Panosian also rendered the main cover A. Let's recap what happened in the previous issue. So through a series of misdirections and assassination attempts by Marcus, the barkeeper who is cursed with eternal life, but in a downtrodden state, Red Sonja basically walks away from Marcus's plans to steal the scepter and the Red Ruby, even though she knows if the two are joined, they will grant the wielder any wish that they want. Marcus's estranged wife, the Pale Witch, approaches Red Sonja and says, look, Marcus is a backstabbing, no good, dirty, rotten scoundrel. If you help me reassemble the Blood Ruby and the scepter, so I can get all the treasures that I want, I will help you get whatever wish you want. And even if that means being free from your servitude to the goddess who grants you your sword-wielding abilities and power. But there's a catch. The only way to join the Blood Ruby to the scepter is with Dragon's Fire. And reluctantly, Red Sonja agrees, and off they go. Now we move on to this issue, which is Savage Red Sonja number 5, which is the finale of the miniseries. And it comes up kind of quick, so hang on to your hats. The Pale Witch and Castile, who is the member of the Slayers of Shadowzar, head toward the cave where the dragon is holed up, and the dragon that has the firepower to rejoin the Blood Ruby with the scepter. Red Sonja goes along with them. As they travel, there's a lot of bantering back and forth between the Pale Witch and Red Sonja because they're trying to figure out whether or not they can trust each other. When are they going to betray each other? Who's telling the truth? Who's not telling the truth? And so their partnership is continually being undermined by their mistrust for each other and their paranoia for each other. That said, they eventually make it to the cave, and Red Sonja says, look, we're not just going to go in there and figure it out. We got to have a plan. So their plan is to put the scepter and the ruby together and plant it in a spot and then distract the dragon with a noise, hoping that it will just shoot flames at whatever it hears in the dark cave. And then when the fire hits the scepter, it'll join it. They distract them the other way, snatch up the scepter, and then off they go. So a little bit of telling him to shoot in the wrong spot so they can get the job done. Red Sonja executes the plan with all the members. The Pale Witch is the one that tells her where the dragon is going to be laid. She orders Castile to set up the horses with ropes around the edge of the mouth of the cave so that they're ready to go if they need to get out of there in a hurry. The plan goes off, and it actually goes off without a hitch. And as soon as the dragon sprays its fire on the Red Ruby and Scepter, the Pale Witch snaps it up, and she commands the dragon to settle down and to turn over all its treasures and all its power. Meanwhile, Castile tries to sneak up on Red Sonja and kill her through a secret plan that Castile had with the Pale Witch. Unfortunately, Red Sonja was prepared for the double cross. She turns the tables, kills Castile, races out of the cave while the Pale Witch is trying to command the dragon, and it doesn't work. And then Red Sonja commands the horses, which were tied to the cave entrance around with a bunch of boulders over the top of the lip of the cave, to yank it and pull it all down, sealing the Pale Witch and her double-crossing crew in with the dragon, presumably to be killed. Later, Red Sonja is riding down the trail. She heads to a small stream where she stops and pulls out the real Red Ruby. So it was actually a double cross on top of a double cross on top of a double cross on top of another double cross. And at the end, Red Sonja gets away with the red ruby. Marcus thinks that his estranged wife betrayed her. The pale witch presumably is dead because she's trapped in the cave with the fire-breathing dragon. And Red Sonja is on her way to whatever adventure happens for her next. And there it is. That's the end. It happens very quick. And maybe that's the good thing, but it's also at the same time not so good thing. What do we think about the issue? What was the positives of the issue? Lots of twists and turns, lots of red herrings, lots of dramatic tension because of that heightened paranoia, because the Pale Witch and Red Sonja absolutely don't trust each other. Red Sonja probably has a little bit more trust with Castile, but that turned out to be misplaced trust. And the whole thing kind of turns out into a booby trap sequence of events that the only one who comes out of it alive is Red Sonja, which is kind of what you expect. At the same time, what didn't we like about Savage Red Sonja number 5? A lot of the things that happened very fast. The placement of the scepter and the trickery with the dragon happens very quick. The Castile trying to sneak up on Red Sonja and kill her and then having the tables turned happens almost in a single panel, so it really doesn't play out at all. The trick with the horses tied to the boulders that would have sealed off the cave, you don't even see that happen, didn't realize it was happening until after it already happened. So consequently, what you find out is a lot of the execution of the plot happens off panel or happens in a single panel so quickly that you don't really see it developed. So there are major portions of this comic that felt very rushed. The way it turns out is clever. The point from getting from point A to point Z to essentially wrap up the series gets you where you want to go. And to Dan Panosian's credit, it feels like he thought it through and he knew where he wanted to go. But the execution is just so fast and leaves so much out that you felt like it was just, you're getting snapshots and a summary or the cliff notes of what was supposed to happen, and it didn't really develop fully. And so when you read this, you kind of get the feeling of, wait a minute, wait, it's over in like 3 pages for that last bit. So you feel like there should have been a 6th issue, and that the 5th issue would have set it up as a penultimate, and the 6th issue would have knocked it all down. So there are the major parts of the climax feel very rushed. Let's talk about the art. Done by Alessio Patillo, colors by Francesco Cizzagalla and Gloria Montanelli. Not very good art. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. The line work is sketchy. Red Sonja looks in some panels downright homely and ugly, which is not the intent, I don't think, but it just looks so sketched and rushed, and little thought put into making the characters look traditional, at least. I'm not going to say attractive, but at least traditional. In some cases, Red Sonja looks like a wet, starving waif off the streets of a Dickens novel. This is not good looking character work by any stretch. And when you have a Red Sonja comic, there's at least some expectation that she looks like a majestic warrior and a formidable presence, both as a woman and as a warrior. And you don't get any of that here. She looks raggedy and just not good. This is not good art, unfortunately, and that's unfortunate. Final thoughts. What do we think about Savage Red Sonja number 5? The plot idea, the core concept is there to wrap up the finale with a series of double crosses that keep you guessing and on your toes. That's good. However, the execution of the story and the writing is very rushed, and the art is very subpar. Therefore, we're going to give Savage Red Sonja number 5 a 5.5 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you want to hear more just like this, please stay tuned through the outro.